Chosen one. There comes a moment in life when you must make a choice. Will you continue to let others disrespect you? Or will you take control of how you are treated? Too many people spend their lives justifying their worth to those who have already decided not to see it. They lower their voices, diminish their presence, and tolerate behavior that erodes their dignity, all for what? Approval? Acceptance? A false sense of belonging? But here's the truth. Respect is not given, it is commanded. The world does not freely offer respect, it responds to the standards you set for yourself. If you tolerate disrespect, it will persist. If you allow people to overstep your boundaries, they will continue to push further. If you constantly explain yourself to those who refuse to listen, they will twist your words against you. That cycle ends today. From this moment forward, you will walk with confidence. You will stop seeking validation from those unworthy of your time. You will establish firm boundaries and understand that silence is sometimes the most powerful response. You will no longer beg for respect, you will demand it through the way you carry yourself. The world will begin to recognize your worth only when you do. Stop explaining yourself to those who refuse to understand. There comes a time in life when you must stop explaining yourself to people who do not deserve it. Some individuals will question every choice you make, doubt your abilities, and act as if they are entitled to an explanation for your every move. But listen, you owe them nothing, not an explanation for who you are, not for where you're going, and certainly not for why you chose to remove yourself from toxicity. Yet, so many people fall into the trap of trying to justify themselves. They waste time and energy defending their choices to people who have already decided not to respect them. It's like trying to fill a bottomless cup, no matter how much you pour in. It will never be enough. And here's the reality, if someone doesn't respect you before the explanation, they won't respect you after it either. Think about the time you've spent trying to convince people who didn't even care. You explain your decisions, and they twist your words. You defend yourself, and they ignore your reasoning. You tell them why you walked away from a toxic situation, and instead of supporting you, they question you further. Even Jesus, when falsely accused before Pilate, chose silence over justification. Matthew chapter 27 verse 14 states, "But Jesus made no reply, not even to a single charge." To the great amazement of the governor. Why waste your breath? Why hand over control of your emotions to those who have no intention of understanding you? If Jesus didn't waste his time justifying himself to those who had already made up their minds, neither should you. Set boundaries like your life depends on it. Many people feel drained, disrespected, and taken advantage of. Why? Because they have no boundaries. Or worse, they have them but don't enforce them. Boundaries aren't just something nice to have, they are essential. They determine whether you live a life of strength or a life where others control you. When you don't set boundaries, you are silently telling people, "You can treat me however you want, and I will still be here." And trust me, people will take advantage of that. They will push you as far as you allow them to. They will test your limits to see how much they can get away with. If you don't set firm limits, they will keep taking until there is nothing left of you. Boundaries are not about being rude or distant, they are about self-respect. They teach others how to treat you. The stronger your boundaries, the stronger your sense of self-worth. And the moment you enforce them, you will see a shift. Those who truly respect you will adjust, and those who only sought to use you will disappear. From now on, you will no longer tolerate disrespect. You will no longer over-explain yourself to those who refuse to listen. You will no longer allow people to take advantage of your kindness. You are not here to shrink yourself for the comfort of others. You are here to stand tall, walk with confidence, and claim the respect that is rightfully yours. Most people are not truly thinking about what's best for you. They're thinking about what's best for themselves. If you allow them to overstep, they will. If you allow them to disrespect you, They will. And the hardest part? You won't realize how bad it is until you are completely drained, physically, mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Setting boundaries is how you guard your heart. It's how you protect your peace. You don't need to announce your boundaries to everyone. You don't need to beg people to respect them. You just need to decide what you will and won't allow, and then stand firm in that decision. Before you even speak, people decide how to treat you based on how you carry yourself. The way you walk, the way you stand, the way you hold your head high, it all sends a message before you say a single word. You don't have to be the richest, the smartest, or the most accomplished person in the room. But if you walk like you belong, people will treat you like you do. That is the power of presence, the power of confidence, the power of commanding respect without begging for it. Too many people shrink themselves when they enter a space. They lower their voice, avoid eye contact, hesitate before they speak, all in an effort to take up less space. But that kind of energy will get you overlooked, dismissed, and ignored. If you act like you don't belong, the world will believe you. If you walk into a room apologizing for your existence, no one will give you a second thought. But when you walk with confidence, everything shifts. People look up, they pay attention, they feel your energy before you even say a word. Proverbs chapter 28 verse 1 says, "The wicked flee though no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion." You are a child of God. Why would you walk in fear? Stand tall, walk with purpose, make eye contact, speak with clarity. Confidence is not arrogance, it's knowing your worth. If you move like you belong, eventually, the world will believe it too. Stop seeking approval. You are not for everyone. From the moment we are born, we are taught to seek approval. As children, we want to make our parents proud. In school, we want our teachers to validate us. In friendships, we want to be accepted. And somewhere along the way, we start believing that our worth is tied to how many people like us, approve of us, or validate us. But that mindset will destroy you. It will leave you drained, lost, and disconnected from who you truly are. Because no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you give, no matter how much you change yourself to fit someone else's expectations, you will never be for everyone. Some people will misunderstand you. Some will judge you. Some will dislike you for no reason at all. And you have to be okay with that. If even Jesus, the Son of God, was rejected by people, why would you expect to be accepted by everyone? John chapter 15 verse 18 says, "If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first." Think about how many decisions you've made just to gain someone's approval. How many times have you said yes when you really wanted to say no? How many times have you changed your opinions, your voice, your energy just to fit in? And for what? Did it ever truly make you happy? Living for approval is a never-ending chase. You will never satisfy everyone. The moment you change for one person, another will come along with new expectations. Instead of seeking approval, start living in your truth. The right people will respect you. The wrong people? They were never meant for you anyway. Silence is power. Don't give others control over your emotions. Most people react when they feel attacked, disrespected, or challenged. They lash out, defend themselves, argue, and try to prove a point. But the strongest people, the ones who command the most respect, understand that silence speaks louder than words ever could. When someone disrespects you, they expect a reaction. They want you to get upset, to explain yourself, to struggle for their approval. They want to control your emotions. And the moment you give them what they want, the moment you react, you hand them your power. Think about it. Have you ever argued with someone, only to realize later that nothing you said changed their mind? Have you ever tried to defend yourself to someone who had already decided not to understand you? The chosen ones don't react, they respond. When they are insulted, they don't let it shake them. When they are provoked, they don't give others the power to dictate their emotions. They choose silence. They choose to walk away with dignity. They choose to protect their peace. Proverbs chapter 17 verse 28 says, "Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues." The people who try to provoke you are not seeking truth, they are seeking control. They want to see if they can manipulate you, push your buttons, and make you lose your composure. But when you stay silent, when you refuse to engage, something shifts. They realize they have no power over you. They see that their words have no effect, and suddenly, they are the ones who feel weak. The next time someone tries to provoke you, stay silent. The next time someone disrespects you, don't give them the satisfaction of a reaction. A chosen one does not let emotions dictate their actions. They control themselves and allow their silence to be the most powerful response. All of us have a natural desire to be acknowledged. When we accomplish something great, we feel the urge to share it with the world. But if you truly want to command respect, if you want to protect what you've built, you must learn the power of moving in silence. The moment you announce your every move, you expose yourself. When you broadcast your achievements, you invite opinions, jealousy, and interference. The world is not as kind as you think. Not everyone is happy for you. Some people are secretly waiting for an opportunity to tear you down. And the more you talk, the more ammunition you give them. Proverbs chapter 21 verse 23 says, "Those who guard their mouths and their tongues keep themselves from calamity." The most powerful individuals do not seek applause or validation. They do not announce what they are going to do, they simply do it. And one day, the world wakes up to see what they have accomplished. No warnings, no explanations, just results. There are two types of people in life: those who pour into you and those who drain you. The ones who uplift you, push you forward, and inspire you to be better, and the ones who take until there is nothing left of you. If you want to protect your peace, if you want to build a strong and unshakable life, you must master the ability to cut off those who drain your energy immediately. Energy is everything. It shapes your thoughts, emotions, actions, and ultimately, your destiny. You cannot afford to let just anyone have access to you. You cannot afford to be surrounded by people who only bring stress, negativity, and chaos into your life. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 33 warns, "Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character." You do not owe your energy to anyone. You do not have to explain yourself when you choose to walk away. If someone is draining you, it is your responsibility to remove them from your life. No warnings, no second chances, no drawn-out conversations. If you recognize the pattern, take action. The longer you hold on to toxic people, the more damage they do. Protect your energy, guard your peace, because once it's gone, you can never get it back. A chosen one never begs. To beg is to surrender your power, to hand over your worth to someone who does not see it. It is not arrogance, nor is it pride. It is self-respect. It is the deep understanding that you are valuable, that you are enough, and that what is truly meant for you will never require you to crawl for it. The moment you beg, you diminish yourself. You send a message to the world that you are incomplete without external validation, that you need someone more than they need you. And once they see you in desperation, they will never regard you the same way again. People can sense when you doubt your own value. They can smell desperation. And the cruel truth is this: the more you plead, the less they will give. The more you chase, the faster they will run. The more you try to prove yourself, the more they will devalue you. Psalm chapter 37 verse 25 declares, "I have never seen the righteous forsaken, nor their children begging bread." If you walk in alignment with God, you will never have to beg, not for love, not for respect, not for opportunity. When someone chooses to leave your life, let them. When someone refuses to honor your worth, walk away. When someone fails to see your value, do not waste a second trying to convince them. The strongest souls in this world do not beg, chase, or force what is not naturally theirs. They move with certainty, knowing that what belongs to them will always find them and what does not is simply a distraction. Because the moment you plead for someone's attention, affection, or approval, you are telling them, and yourself, that you do not believe in your own worth. And a chosen one never questions their worth. There is a power in walking away that most people never recognize. It is a quiet confidence, a strength that speaks louder than words, a clear boundary between those who know their worth and those who settle for less than they deserve. Walking away is not about giving up. It is not about weakness. It is about choosing yourself when the world refuses to give you what you are worth. It is about refusing to beg, refusing to fight for a seat at a table that does not respect your presence. It is about knowing when to stand up and leave because your time, your energy, and your peace are far too valuable to be wasted on people who cannot see your worth. Most people stay far longer than they should. They stay in relationships that drain them, in friendships that no longer serve them, in jobs that break their spirit. They hold on, hoping that one day, the people who neglect them will suddenly wake up and appreciate them. But that day never comes. Matthew chapter 10 verse 14 states, "If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, leave that home or town and shake the dust off your feet." Even Jesus himself taught that sometimes the best response is to walk away. Walking away is not about proving a point. It is about freeing yourself from the cycle of disrespect. It is about realizing that you do not have to stay in a place where you are not valued. Because the truth is, the right people will never put you in a position where you have to question your worth. And when you walk away from what no longer serves you, you create space for what truly deserves you. Respect is not something you beg for, it is something you command by the way you live, speak, and carry yourself. If you have spent your life allowing people to walk over you, if you have tolerated disrespect, if you have explained yourself to those who were never willing to listen, then today, that stops. Psalm chapter 139 verse 14 says, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful." I know that full well. When you truly understand your worth, everything changes. You no longer tolerate disrespect. You no longer waste time proving yourself. You no longer stay where you are not valued. The reason people disrespect you is because they do not fear losing you. But from this moment forward, you walk with a new mindset. You are valuable. You are powerful. You are not to be played with. No more explaining. No more tolerating nonsense. And if they do not respect you, walk away. Let them feel your absence. Let them learn your value the hard way. Because by the time they realize it, it will be too late.